Valve has announced changes to their Steam trading card system on Steam. This is basically going to make it so that developers have to reach a confidence metric to sell Steam trading cards, or rather have trading cards at all for their games. And this is actually a very interesting solution to a very big problem. Michael here with another topic video. So basically, developers are going to need to reach a confidence metric. How this is actually calculated is unknown. Basically, Valve doesn't want to announce it because people will start abusing the system again, but this is actually a solution to these sort of what they call fake developers. And so basically, there's all these fake games on Steam. You'll look on Steam, you'll see this very terrible game. Sometimes people get recommended to them, and this is actually one of the reasons why we're actually having this change. Talk about it in a second. But basically, they'll have all these fake games on Steam, and you're like, all right, well, why is this even on here? It's a terrible game. It obviously has no effort put into it, and some of them don't even start up. It's like, why is this on Steam, and how are they actually still producing these sort of things? It's like, why are people paying money to put this on Steam? The reality is they make money through things like Steam trading cards. And so basically this is combating this. And they're basically making it so that one, it's less profitable. And number two, it's not going to affect their algorithm so people won't see them as often. And so hopefully it will end up having things like, you know, basically nobody ends up seeing the game, so nobody knows that they exist, and this ends up helping with a lot of different sort of problems they're having with the system. Basically, you know, if I look at my recommended list, I get a bunch of this garbage, and it's just like, I don't want to see any of it. Now, for me specifically, I'm sort of an edge case scenario because basically I am a person who always uses the recommendation system, and I'm always looking for interesting games for the fact of, you know, just creating content and finding new interesting games to play. But at the same time, not everyone is, and so not everyone is going to see as much of it as I do, but I know there's more interesting games on Steam that are not in this sort of realm. However, how this ends up affecting their algorithms is basically how they end up making profit off of these Steam trading cards is they use the marketplace, and basically people will buy these trading cards. Now, there's a reason why people buy them on the trading cards, and I'm going to blame Valve for this 100%, but we'll talk about that after I sort of explain this. Basically what they'll do, and this is how sort of Valve explained it inside of their blog post and everything like that, a developer will put up a fake game that is obviously not meant to be sold as a game, but it will have these trading cards, and they want to earn profit off of these trading cards. And so basically what they'll do is they'll have a bunch of bots that have the free accounts and everything like that. They have basically so developers can send out keys to anyone they want to, and this is how reviewers can get it. This is how they can send it to their friends for beta testing or to the other developers of their team without having to go through and like purchase it and go through all that sort of metrics sort of stuff, which is really awesome actually, and it is something that is kind of standard throughout all the storefronts that end up distributing games uniquely, which is actually very, very important. So Valve doesn't really want to remove that aspect of it. However, what they'll do with these fake developers is fake developers will end up having a bunch of bot accounts that will end up idling the game to unlock these Steam trading cards. And then these sort of accounts will act as almost legitimate users. And so basically it's like, oh, well, these legitimate users, there's 1,000 of them just sitting there playing the game nonstop. Of course it's a popular game. And then it will end up sort of messing with their algorithms for their used or kind of popularity. And so it's like, oh, well, we'll recommend this game because a lot of people are playing it. When in reality, nobody's playing it. It's just people idling it, or rather bots idling it, to actually just sort of get Steam trading cards. And then to double up on this sort of causation, they're actually using that sort of system to actually have those bots sell the Steam trading cards on the marketplace to not only gain some money on things like, you know, the Steam marketplace, since they'll actually have profit on that through these bot accounts. They'll also be able to use this on the marketplace to make money through, as a developer, through selling the trading cards. Now, the only reason why people buy the trading cards is sort of Valve's fault, because Valve introduced this whole leveling system, and so basically they'll have these things to where it's like, oh, well, you got a Steam leveling system, and the way you unlock this is by unlocking badges from getting, you know, Steam trading cards and things like that. And so basically it's a system that they sort of imposed on themselves because they added incentive to people to use it, but they did describe it fairly honestly, and I do agree with their sort of explanation. They said, hey, this is a system that is meant for fans of a game. And so basically they want developers to be able to have these things so that, you know, fans will be like, hey, I want to unlock all these trading cards for this game, unlock this background, unlock this cool thing. It's something that doesn't necessarily matter and doesn't really affect most people. And for me personally, I couldn't even care less about it because I'm just like, yeah, I don't really care. I'll just, you know, sell them on the marketplace or give them to friends. Like I literally just hand them to friends sometimes. I'm just like, I don't really care, dude. Here, have it. If he notices I have one that he needs, except for when Steam's trading system is going haywire because the whole mobile authenticator, God, I hate that thing. I could do an entire rage video for an hour on how that thing is just absolute garbage. But hey, anyways, let's go on topic. But basically, this is a system where they sort of incentivized it themselves, and so basically they created the marketplace, and so basically they shouldn't be 100% blameless on this, but at the same time, it is sort of their fault for sort of abusing the system, the fake developers for abusing the system. And it's not necessarily kind of smart in their aspect because it is something that Valve can easily fix, and this is how they're going around it. Now, there is a negative side to this. Now, I'm talking about it mostly positive because it is one of those things to where this is majorly positive. This is going to be something that is going to hit them very largely, might actually solve the problem altogether. It might not completely fix the problem. I know they're going to find a different route around it. But they've been saying like, oh, this is going to end up solving, this isn't going to completely solve the problem, but it is going to be a huge hit for them. And it is something that is actually going to affect other developers as well. And so basically other developers on this confidence metric, maybe they won't be able to have it on launch. Now, I feel like they're saying that games won't have trading cards on launch, which I feel like that will still be the case for some games. They're going to have like a set of developers to be like, oh, hey, these developers have been shown that they actually, care about their game and everything like that. And so basically they'd be like, oh, they can have Steam trading cards right away. It's not going to be one of those systems where it's going to lock people out. However, it is one of those systems that will end up kind of limiting certain people. And so basically, if you have a developer that's already hesitant to the system, they might actually, not wanting to put in Steam trading cards because they'll be like, oh, well, now it's extra effort, or somebody that ends up launching a game and then maybe they don't go back and update it very often, or maybe they don't end up reaching that confidence metric. This confidence metric could be more difficult to reach than we end up anticipating. Now, I believe Valve will end up fixing it if it isn't. But this could be the case to where it could end up becoming more and more difficult for developers to reach this metric. That said, on the positive end, it is definitely going to solve the problem to where these fake developers are using this as a system to sort of game the system and everything like that, which is actually really, really good. And it's going to improve the discovery system, which is the number one biggest thing that I think Valve has actually done right in the past few years. This recommendation system that is on Steam right now is actually really, really good, and I really, really enjoy it, and I like looking through it because I find a lot of fantastic games on it, and that's kind of what I like. I liked searching through these sort of things without having to find out, like, where do I got to find this? Do I got to find like a blog post or a new YouTube channel or anything like that? And that is tiring. I would rather just go to the storefront because people go to a storefront to look for games. And so basically, if they have this system to where they actually end up showing up these, terrible games, it makes people not want to go on there. And why does Valve care so much? Because basically they look at these games and they're like, oh, well, this storefront sucks because it has all these crappy games. And so basically they don't end up purchasing anything. And so they'd rather show you a game that's actually good and one that you might be interested in. And this discovery system has actually shown them a lot of profit as well, which is actually super fantastic. I'm actually glad it's doing so well because it is a good system, and it is something that a lot of us wish was actually better, which is actually really, really cool. That said, though, it does have the negative side effect of just making it so the games might not have trading cards out on launch. Now, Valve did say if you actually have the time in the game, when the developer does unlock the Steam trading cards and does put them into the game, because remember, Steam trading cards isn't mandatory. They could just decide not to put them in. But when they do, your playtime will automatically unlock you the cards that already have them. And this is already something that already happens when developers end up adding in cards late. And so it's like, oh, hey, well, we didn't have trading cards at launch. So basically we have the system to where it's like, hey, you played 30 hours of this or whatever. We're going to unlock a card for you or something like that. And so basically that's how it kind of ends up working. So it's not like, oh my God, I lost drops because the developer was late on it, or I had this confidence metric. So realistically, consumers or legitimate consumers and everything like that should not necessarily be affected. The people that will be affected are people that end up using the system to sort of game the whole Steam leveling system, which is unfortunate for you, I guess. And that is sort of a side effect, but that's the same time, you should be buying good games. There are good games out there that you can already get for, like, let's say $1, or you can get for free and things like that. There are a lot of fantastic games you can get Steam trading cards for without actually dropping a lot of money. So if you want to try and game the system still, there's ways for you to do it. Valve doesn't care that people are boosting their Steam level system. What they care about is that these terrible developers, or I don't even want to call them developers, the fake developers as they called them, are basically gaming the system and causing it so it's more difficult for people to find legitimate games to purchase, which is a huge problem. And that's something that I really am glad that they end up fixing. Now, this isn't implemented yet, and so it is going to take a little while for us to see if the system actually ends up working or not. And these guys could end up having another system they can end up gaming as well. And like, let's say they find some new exploit or something like that, and they can end up using that. And I mean, they're always going to try to game the system. Criminals are always criminals. And I am going to call them criminals because scamming people is a fucking crime. And these guys, they are definitely scammers. And so basically what they do is they put up these fake games and they're just trying to get people to buy them so they can make a few bucks and then try and do it again and again. And they're basically scamming people out of their money and their time. And it's very unfortunate. And it sucks. I wish they weren't a problem on Steam because Steam would be such a better place. I think systems like Greenlight would end up being so much better. if it didn't have all these fake developers sort of gaming the system. That's actually what killed Greenlight. And Greenlight will be going away. And so some people are like, oh, well, this won't matter once Greenlight's away. But it's just going to be another layer of protection as well. And I'm really, really glad that Valve has ended up going in and they're making all these systems so much better to end up having a system to where it's like, hey, fake developers can no longer make money on our sort of storefront. And I think that's a really huge thing, because basically, if somebody can scam your system, they're going to, because that's just how they work. And so, yeah, it's just great. And I'm really glad that Valve is finally taking steps. It's been years that this has been a problem. And so being able to see it kind of like take form and be like, hey, this is going to improve over in the future, that's just fantastic. And I really, really hope that this ends up going well, because if it doesn't go well, that's going to suck. And I really hope it doesn't end up affecting new developers all too much. I mean, I don't think most developers are going to have Steam trading cards on their sort of marketplace and being like, oh yeah, that's going to be our main sort of selling point. No, because Steam trading cards don't really make that much money. I mean, there's a few anime games that probably make quite a bit of money off of it, because if you've ever seen those anime games, God, they have trading cards worth like dollars, and not even like the Steam foil ones that are all special and stuff like that, but literally like dollars. And I'm like, really? Like, that's ridiculous. But some people like that stuff, so hey, there you go. But I mean, they have hardcore fans and not a huge player base, and so I guess it kind of makes sense. But it just goes to show you, like, you know, fans want to help support the games, and this is a cool way for them to not only throw some money, not only at Valve, because Valve, you know, they want to sort of make money off of it, but also towards the developer, because the developer does get a cut of this. And so it's kind of a cool way for them to throw a little bit more money at it and kind of get some cool sort of perks on Steam and everything like that, and boost up their Steam level and things. And it's kind of a cool way to be like, hey, I'm a fan of this game, and here I have a little icon I can throw in chat, or I have this background on my user profile. And so, yeah, I think it's an awesome system, and I actually like it, although I don't participate in it very much. It is one of the systems I just kind of ignore for the most part. And so, yeah, but anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this one. Make sure to leave your thoughts on this whole system in the comments as well. I know that some people have been sort of really happy about this, and I am definitely among those people. There are some people that are concerned about the whole new developer situation, and I think that's something that will just end up solving itself from the get-go. I think it's going to be something that's not going to be that big of a deal. I am confident that Valve will end up making it as a system, because they do make so much money off of trading cards, and it's not just from these fake developers. Like I was talking about, these anime games and stuff like that, they have trading cards that sell for dollars, and so it's like, you know, Senran Kagura still has a card worth 50 cents. It's like, all right, that's 50 cents that somebody not only paid for the game, but it's 50 cents they're actually, oh my god, I forgot I could roll in this game. Oh my god, I can feel the hate in the comments. I'm so sorry. We're playing Dead Cells, by the way. And so basically this is an early access game, and I ended up doing a really early look on it, and oh my god, it is so much better now, and it's turning out really good. And I can't get very far in it because it is incredibly difficult, but it is really, really fun. But like I was saying, you know, it's not only money that they ended up putting into the game to end up buying it on Steam, but it is sort of a purchase that they made on top of that not only goes to the developer, but ends up going to Valve as well. So Valve definitely wants these Steam trading cards to be a thing. They just don't want these fake developers to end up screwing with their system. And the main problem is their whole, you know, recommendation system. If they're recommending terrible games, people just don't want to play their games. So yeah, it's an interesting solution to a very big problem. I'm really happy that it's going to finally be fixed. Anyways, like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to play Dead Cells for a little bit longer. Like, this game is turning out absolutely fantastic. Like, it's not completely different than how I played it before, but they've added in a ton of mechanics. They have a whole new shop and everything like that. It is early access though, so, you know, as with any early access game, caution. But it feels super, super polished. It is super, super hard as well. I'm probably not very good at it right now just because I'm on a video. I'm also extremely hungry. I haven't eaten yet today, and it's like nighttime, and so I'm like, I should probably eat something soon. But yeah, like you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Oh my god. Can you die now? Oh my god, I still didn't kill it. There we go. Got it. Oh, I want that.